Hi everyone, welcome back to Archana's kitchen. Today is going to be a dinner meal where I'm going to be putting together a delicious no sauce pasta, just tossed along with some tomatoes and spinach and a hint of garlic and herbs. I'm going to show you the tips and tricks of how to make it. I'm going to be serving it along with some garlic bread and a silky zucchini soup. So without wasting any time, let's just dive right in and I'll show you how to make this dish. So to begin making the pasta into a bowl, add in some water and bring it to a boil and add in some salt to taste. And to this, I'm going to be adding in Archana's Kitchen multi-millet penne pasta that has zero maida and made from jowar, barley and whole wheat and ragi. And we'll cook the pasta until it becomes al dente. Notice that these are multi-millet penne pastas, so it needs to be boiled just for about 4 to 5 minutes and not more, because if you boil it for more, it'll break apart. So you have to ensure that you first put it in hot water and give it a boil, monitor it, just don't go away, because the moment you cook it for a longer period of time, it'll break. So as soon as it softens, we have to remove it and rinse it under cold water to stop the cooking process. So let's just do that. So it's been about 4 minutes since the pasta was boiling briskly, and then I turned off the heat. And notice the pasta is just about cooked. It's al dente, it's got a firm bite. So now what I'm going to do is to drain this and rinse it under cold water so the pasta stops cooking. And drizzle some oil and keep it aside so that it prevents it from sticking with each other. Notice that some of the pasta will break because it's a millet pasta, but overall the pasta will just hold itself together if you just cook it for the right amount of time. The next step is to roast some tomatoes. So into my pan, I'm going to add in some olive oil. Olive oil is a very important ingredient that brings in great flavor into Italian dishes. And to this, I'm going to add in the finely chopped garlic, and lightly sauteing it in oil brings in a delicious flavor to pasta. I can smell the aromas coming through already. Just a few seconds. I'm going to go ahead and add in my cherry tomatoes. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on the top and roast the cherry tomatoes until it becomes soft and it's got a nice roasted texture. You can do this in the oven and put it in the oven and roast it at about 200 degrees centigrade for about 10 minutes. Or you can do it in the pan like I'm doing right now, which I always like to do because I love to get the flavors of the tomatoes coming in. So when it was about 2 to 3 minutes, I covered the pan and allow it to roast on medium heat so that it gets cooked beautifully. So notice the tomatoes now, and it looks so beautiful. It's shrunk in size and it's cooked and it's getting roasted and it looks really juicy and nice. When you press it, it'll feel juicy and nice. At this stage, it is 95% done, but I'm going to be cooking the spinach. So at this stage, I'm just going to go ahead and add the chopped spinach into it and saute it until it's just about cooked. So if you get baby spinach, you can add that in. But if you get regular spinach, go ahead and add in some chopped spinach. Roughly chop it into big pieces. So in about less than a minute, the spinach will shrink in size. There you go, the fresh green colors. In another few seconds, the spinach will be ready. You know, the moisture that's getting released from the tomatoes and the spinach, that's going to make the pasta nice and juicy. I'm going to go ahead and add in the remaining flavor ingredients. The black pepper, chili flakes, because I love pasta and chilies, and especially when it's not a saucy pasta, then red chili flakes go well. And I'm going to add in some mixed herbs. You can add in some oregano or basil or a mix of both, or you even get the mixed spice herbs in the market, which is the Italian herbs. Just go ahead and pick that bottle up. It's really versatile and goes into various different dishes. So we're going to toss in the cooked pasta right now. Gently now toss it up so you don't want to break the remaining pasta. Just toss it up. Doesn't that look beautiful? Pasta with a good extra virgin olive oil and roasted tomatoes goes really great. You don't need sauces all the time for pasta. This goes very well into a kid's school lunchbox. And now for the final step is the cheese. Now I'm going to be using Parmesan cheese over here, but you can use any type of cheese. If this is not available, you can also use any local processed cheese and it will taste good. If you're in another part of the world and you feel that cheese goes well, just go ahead and add that. Just grate some cheese on top of it and enjoy for a meal. There you go. We cooked the pasta with some salt. We also added some salt into the cherry tomatoes while cooking, but I'm just going to add a little bit more on the top and give it a toss, and then we'll give it a taste. Brilliant. Just the right amount of flavor. Comes together so beautifully, right? Taste of the roasted tomatoes along with the spinach and a hint of garlic and black pepper. This is really simple, guys. 5 to 6 minutes of cooking the pasta, tossing it along with another 3 to 4 minutes of cooking the tomatoes and the spinach and tossing all of them together. About 15 minutes, your dinner is ready. Can you believe that? That is just awesome. Pasta is my weakness. One of them. Yummy. So to begin making the soup, into a pan, add in some olive oil. You can also add in the butter. So into the oil, I'm just going to be first adding in the garlic. And then I have some zucchini here that I've chopped up and kept. I'm going to go ahead and add in the zucchini. You don't have to peel the skin of the zucchini. You can just add it in, very thin skin. Now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt and I'm going to roast the zucchini until it gets cooked and also gets a nice roasted texture, a little bit of brownness here and there. Notice how beautifully the zucchini is cooked. It's a very quick cooking vegetable. You just press it down and it should feel nice and soft and cooked. And it's got that nice roasted texture and this is great. I've turned off the heat now and I'm going to allow this to cool. I'm going to go ahead and add in the roasted zucchini into my blender jar. And I'm going to add in some water. You can also add milk or cream, but I like water because it makes it nice and smooth and silky. Now the final step for the soup, I just blended it along with some water and notice how beautifully and creamy it is. That is how light the soup is and makes it so creamy without the addition of cream or milk. To this, I'm going to add in some black pepper powder and some red chili flakes. And that's it, our soup is ready. I'm going to give this a brisk boil and then serve it in a bowl. And once it's done, enjoy it as a wholesome meal along with some pasta, bread, or simply as it is. Brilliant flavors. Absolutely light, creamy, the roasted zucchini and garlic. The flavors are just coming through. Very light, guys. A soup without cream and milk is some of my favorites, and I always look forward to such hearty, light, creamy, silky soups, and the zucchini soup is one of them. Now to make the garlic bread, the first thing I'm going to do is to make the garlic butter, right? I have some bread here with me, which I've sliced up and kept. You can use a regular loaf bread or a baguette or a garlic loaf that you get in the market, a loaf bread that you get in the market, which is more like a garlic bread loaf. Now the first step is to make the butter. So for that, I'm going to add in some garlic into my 𝗔𝗭𝗔𝗭, which is a pestle and mortar. I love my 𝗔𝗭𝗔𝗭. It's so versatile that making small quantities of such unique dishes so easy. Okay, notice the garlic is nice and smooth and it's just perfect. Let me just, do the honors of scraping it off from the sides and bringing it to the center to show you how beautifully it's done in just a few seconds while I was just talking to you. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and add in the slices of butter that I need. You can actually make this butter and just keep it in the refrigerator and it will be absolutely fine. Just add it into this, right? You can add some herbs if you want, like some basil. You can add it into it, make a basil butter, pudina butter, but I'm just going to keep it plain and simple, just a garlic butter. And we'll add in a pinch of salt. This is salted butter already, just a pinch of salt. Mix the butter. Isn't that nice and smooth and creamy? So I'm going to take some butter, smear it over my bread and then place it on a preheated tawa. Put some butter on the opposite side as well. We'll just toast it until it becomes nicely browned and crisp. Looks beautiful. It's got a nice brown crust on the top. And that's it. I'm ready to now serve it. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this recipe of how to put this delicious meal together from a multi-millet penne pasta made from Archana's kitchen, millet penne pasta that has zero maida, is high in protein and really delicious to eat as well. And then I'm serving it along with some garlic bread and soup. Makes a great dinner, don't you agree? So do give these recipes a try. And when you do, don't forget to share your feedback in the comments below because I'll always be looking to hear back from you. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel because you will be seeing more such recipes, tips and tricks of how to put great meals together and make a wholesome dinner or a meal for your family. So until then, until next time, happy cooking and healthy eating.